Okay, so you guys just kind of talk about or back and forth each other.
Okay.
And 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Christine Reed, and I'm standing here with Mark Leonard at Concours on the Avenue, 2012 904 from Concours Classics down in La Jolla, California. Mark has had the business for 35 years, and he would like to tell us a little bit more about this very special car. This 904 has a French racing history. You can see the French racing stripes on the hood. Mark, what else do you think is important for people to know about this car?
904s were unique. They were one of Porsche's best dual-purpose racing cars. This is a great example in that it has a good competition history. It's survived intact, has some of the most unique 1965 upgrades, the outside fuel filler, the roll-up windows, and it's actually survived with its original engine and gearbox. We're happy to display the car here on Concours on the Avenue. It's a wonderful event, a casual event. There's a lot of interesting cars, and people can enjoy seeing so many different sports and racing cars. We're proud to display this one as well.
Now, this one has not actually been in the States that long. This car came across the Atlantic how long ago?
This car came over only about 2 years ago to California. It was in England previously, and then before that in France.
And it has raced during its period as well as historically quite a lot, and successfully.
As with most of these historic racing cars, they have an interesting history from the original period, and then they're eligible to be raced today in a variety of great events, such as the Monterey reunion races here at Laguna Seca, and previously this car had done the Spa 6 Hours, the Le Mans historic race, and the Goodwood Revival.
This is not an enormous engine. Can you tell us a little bit more about what makes this 904 such an enduring, so successful in these hill climbs and endurance type races?
Porsche's philosophy was to build a lightweight car with a small, fuel-efficient engine. Therefore, although they had less power, they would have burn less fuel, have less fuel stops, and with lighter weight, have gained speed. And with reliability, ultimately the lighter weight but less powerful car could win its class and overall, which they did.
And the client is really happy about having found this particular car. It's a very special car due to its Porsche Works history. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes it special?
Well, some drivers received factory support in terms of funding and parts and technology, so Porsche could win various championships in various countries. This car received support from Porsche in 1966 in France to win their championships there. What's interesting for a collector is if one can investigate the condition of the car and see that it's survived intact through its life with correct components, and then document the ownership trail from beginning to end. And this car qualifies in both those categories.
Now, did all the 1964 904s have a center fuel fill?
No, the early cars, they made approximately 108 or so four-cylinder 904s. And the early cars had the fuel filler off to the side and narrow hood scoops and a different door and window shape. And the later cars of 65 trim, which just very few were made, less than a dozen or so, had these late features, like the center hood fill is one of those key designations of the later performance upgrades from Porsche. And since this car had some factory support, it returned to Porsche when it was 1 year old and received those competition upgrades.
How common is it for a 904 of this, a 1964 car, to have matching number chassis, gearbox, engine, all these different things that qualify as a survivor car? How common are
Well, on a road car, it's more common because the car has fairly low-risk, limited use. The nature of automobile racing is serious competition at speed with a variety of other cars on the track. Therefore, the risk of accident or engine or gearbox failure is enormous. So for a car to have raced for years in a variety of risky and dangerous sporting events and not to have blown up his engine or not to have had a severe accident really becomes a rarity. It would be hard to estimate how many of the 100 or so cars have survived that way. It's a minority, and that makes it more attractive to an investor and a collector and a pure car lover.
I see. Interesting. Thank you.